Hello, my name is Green and welcome back to a Minecraft Building Your Comments video. We are now on episode 12, one of my longest running series on the channel thanks to your support. This is a series where I take your wonderful, silly and wacky ideas from the comments and build them in a single player world. And as you can see, there are now so many of them that I can no longer show them in a single panorama. I have to really fly around. Now, I'm going to go back to one of the first builds made in this series, because Portal Climax says build Super Mario Goomba stomping on one of your builds. And I decided to choose the pig here, because I really didn't want to mess with the build too much, but I am going to edit it ever so slightly just to make it look like the Goomba is stamping on it, which is why I've just flattened off the eyes there and started to build the feet directly on them. It was a really nice sort of platform for this build to go on. So everyone knows that a Goomba is this sort of brown mushroom with some angry eyebrows and some teeth, so it shouldn't be too difficult to build. However, a mushroom shape is kind of hard to get, so it will take a little bit of organic building to get it right, and I definitely didn't bother trying to make it completely symmetrical. So Mario characters tend to have really accentuated features like giant eyes, massive eyebrows, and for the Goomba they have this really tiny mouth, which I did with some black carpet and a couple of staircases to act like teeth. After editing the shape, I was pretty happy with it. It definitely looks like a Goomba, you can tell what it is, and it's just funny that it's stamping on the pig there as well, and it was nice to visit some of the very original builds. And you might remember from last episode that we had a slug with a Sonic head. Pretty gross, I know, but Lord Cactus said build a Sonic with a slug head racing the slug with a Sonic head. That's a lot of Sonic, I know, but what he wants me to do is essentially build the opposite, racing the slug. So a Sonic with a very gross looking slug head. So this isn't a particularly easy thing to do, especially building something like that's human or humanoid is difficult enough in itself, but building something in a pose, especially like an action one like running or punching or whatever, it poses an even more difficult thing because it's hard to get those angles right. So I looked up a quick picture of Sonic. I wasn't gonna dare do this one from memory, and I think I got the torso and the legs pretty good, but it looks so strange when I just started piling on some green clay, or what's now green terracotta, and stuck a few witherheads as eyes. It looks kind of weird, and then covered it in slime to match the body of the other one, and then added a couple of arms. I'm so glad that these two builds are next to each other, because they really fit in this world on the fact that they're just completely weird. So thank you very much, and if you want to have your comment put in this world, just go down to the comment section below and come up with an original wacky idea that's funny or punny or whatever you want to do. The next comment is from I'm a Potato, who says, can you build 2 eggs? One is telling a joke and the other is literally cracking up. Well, it had 609 upvotes. On this series, if you can't come up with any of your own ideas to put in the comments, but you like someone else's, if you upvote it, it really brings it to my attention, it brings it to the top of the list, and then I know exactly what you want to see. So, I built a tiny little egg, and this is the smallest happy face that I can possibly do in Minecraft using staircases and slabs, and it kind of works. The real question is, what is the joke that he is telling? And I'll leave that up to you guys to work it out. But I built a second egg on the floor, literally rolling around, but then I had to kind of remove his face and put some cracks in it. It looked a bit weird, but it definitely looks like he is cracking up. So thank you for that comment. Very nice one. It works quite well. I wonder if you didn't know what it was, if you'd be able to work out what was going on, especially as I have no speech. Next up, Penny Knuckles says, build Crash Bandicoot. I think he means Crash Bandicoot, you know, the kind of circulating meme from last month that goes, whoa, 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 you know the one. So I've decided to kind of make semi-pixel art on this one, and that's because the meme itself is like almost 3D, if I can say that. So I'm really trying to mimic it as best I can in Minecraft, and that includes trying to get the really wacky shapes that he becomes as he says whoa a bit more, and it really starts getting out of hand. Eventually he's basically just a mouth. but I decided to choose a specific frame of that meme and then try and build it inside building your comments as best I can. I don't even know if the guy that wrote this comment wanted this in particular. Maybe he just wanted a normal Crash Bandicoot, but then I've completely ruined it by doing this. I'm not entirely sure, but I assume he wants something that looks like this. And to be honest with you, it fits pretty well. You see all the red monsters in the background? He fits right in. I love that one. I almost want to put a meme in it every time. The Electric Waffle says, build a hot air balloon. No, not a typo. Wait, he said a hot hair balloon, not a hot air balloon. Okay, so I'm not particularly proud of this build. I did it very quickly and I wasn't quite sure what to do. So I decided to make my face as simple as possible with a bit of shape and essentially just make a hot air balloon out of the same color as my hair, spruce wood, and basically just make a balloon there. I know it didn't come out very well, but one of the rules, or the unwritten rules of building your comments is one time only, no do-overs. So if I mess it up, it's messed up forever. Frank Heffley says, you should make a bee drinking tea while stinging a knee. Now, last episode, we had a flamingo doing the tango while eating a mango, so I think people are building off that, and they've started doing a bit more rhymes. I mean, it's fine, it's perfect, because it is random stuff, and that fits perfectly in this world. So maybe I could do a rhyme every episode, I'm not sure. What I'm really looking for in these comments is some originality, some funny, some wacky bits, I don't know. It needs to just fit in this world. I'm not always going for role reversals or something like that. So I've built a very odd looking bee that is like in a stinging position, but I also wanted to give him a bit of dignity because he's drinking some tea, of course, which I just topped off with some brown glass. And now it's the difficult bit, the knee. Now, I don't know if this looks like a knee if you didn't know what it was originally. To me, I looked like I just made a worm, like very hard to tell that it's a leg, but you'd be surprised how hard it is just to make a single body part of a human. So there it is, there's a bee drinking tea while stinging a knee, but it does look like a worm, I'm not going to lie. No do-overs. The next comment is by Nuke Explosion 123, who says, build a nose running in some very weird text characters. So I don't know whether he meant like a runny nose, like it's got snot coming out of it, or it's a literal nose with some legs that is running away. So I decided to do both. I'm going to build the biggest nose that I possibly can, just so that I can have some horrible slime blocks dripping out of it as it trails behind. But building a nose on its own, again, is kind of weird. It looks like a pear drop, but it's an odd color. I'm not entirely sure. So I decided to just do my best, add some legs, and some snot that trails behind it. So I've obviously mastered the running legs from building your comments because it's done so often. And then the slime works as well, just to show that he's moving. And I think it came out pretty well indeed. And if you like this series, please not only leave me some more ideas, drop a like on it because I then know that this series can continue forever. Anyway, let's move on to the last comment of this video by Stillnut. I don't know if I said that right. He just said palm tree. Just palm tree. No one upvoted it. No one did anything. I don't know why I selected it other than the fact that when he said it, I didn't just think of just a normal palm tree. I thought of a literal hand with a tree coming out of it, or like leaves coming out the top of the fingers. So I thought it was a pretty good pun, and I don't know whether he wanted that or she wanted that from this comment, but I feel like they did, and I felt like I understood that, so I picked that out as the last one. Now, obviously, if you've got ideas of your own, leave them in the comments section below. I try my best to look through them, but there are literally tens of thousands of comments. It is insane how many there are. And you know what? There are so many that YouTube doesn't actually load all of them. Like, I'll scroll for pages and pages and pages and pages, and eventually the load more button doesn't work. So, you need to make sure that your comment is top quality and that other people will upvote it as well so that it will reach my eyes. It makes my life a lot easier. I think out of these videos, finding all of the appropriate comments is the hardest part, and it takes hours and hours longer than actually building it and editing this video, which is insane. It's something you might not even consider. I am extremely proud of what this series has become and how silly this world is. So, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you that have made this series a success and possible, and it's been a lot of fun. And hopefully, we can continue this for a very long time. So, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!